Hi everyone, Eugene here at Panasonic, and in this quick video I'm going to show you how you can configure your audio settings on a LUMIX camera to get that pro audio quality on your recordings. So I have in front of me the S1 Mark II and the S1R Mark II, but these settings are applicable to other S-series cameras, so please make sure to double check with your operating instructions where you can find out more details about the compatibility. So now, all you need to do is we're going to jump into the menu so I can show you where you can find the settings, and then I have a little surprise here for you. I have the XLR2, which expands the functionality on this camera and pretty much turns it into a professional mixer essentially, because we can get really high quality directly on our recordings by using this adapter. So let's jump into the menu by pressing the menu key, and within the menu all we need to do is essentially just go to the first motion picture settings and then scroll all the way down when you see the first microphone, and you get the audio 1 settings. Here you can see now we have a high number of options. I'll briefly mention what every single one means, but please have a look in the operating instructions because there's going to be a lot more detail in there. So we have the sound recording level display. This simply means if we want to see what is the actual recording level. We can mute the sound input. We can control the recording gain level from standard and low. We can see the level adjustment. So for example, we can increase the sensitivity, and hopefully you can see on the screen that as I'm increasing the sensitivity, my voice is captured differently as well, and that's reflected there. The sound recording quality is grayed out because that's a setting that actually depends on using this XLR2 adapter or the other first version. We can then go to the sound recording level limiter. This is actually a really good idea to keep regardless, so this just prevents the audio from clipping when you actually record on the camera. We then go to the wind noise canceller. Again, we have different settings: high, standard, and off. I think this is pretty straightforward of what it means, but it essentially uses a gate to cancel out some of the wind noise. We then have a setting for the microphone socket. So actually for this camera, we have a built-in microphone jack plug, so we can just use a different microphone, not necessarily by relying on the XLR2 adapter. And then if we continue, we have special mic. This is again this shotgun mic that you can put directly on the camera. Right now we don't have it, so that's why it's grayed out. The 4-channel audio recording, again, not available because we need this adapter to get to that setting, and I'll show you in a second how you can do that. We then have the setting for the XLR mic adapter, the sound output. So we're now into the monitoring section. So you also have a microphone input, but you also have a headphone output. So you can actually connect the cameras, you connect some headphones to the camera so you can hear what the sound is going to be like before you even record it. So you have that sound output, which can be real time or recorded sound. There's going to be a slight delay with the recorded sound, so it depends on your preference. You can set that, and then you have the headphone volume, which is the actual volume of loudness, and then sound monitoring channel if you want to do this on a specific channel, and you can select here whatever combination you want to use. So now I'm just going to come out of the menu for a second, and I'm going to take the XLR2 again. There are some pins here that allow this to connect to the camera and communicate, so I'm just going to turn this around. Of course, on this side here we have all these different types of controls. This is not a video about going into details on the XLR2, maybe we'll have a separate one later. So for now I'm just going to connect this. There's the hot shoe slot, and then I'm going to go back into the menu and into the same settings. What you're going to see already is that, first of all, a lot of the other settings are now grayed out. That's because those are the settings that are unrelated to the XLR functionality. So the camera is smart, it knows, oh, we shouldn't confuse users with that. But we do have another setting that wasn't available before, which is the sound recording quality. And this is where one of the coolest things happen, which is where we can set the 32-bit float quality on this particular camera, which gives us really, really great headroom for our recordings. And we don't have to worry about clipping. We don't have to worry about gain staging when we're recording, because we can always adjust that, and we have a lot more flexibility in the post-production stage. So for now, I'm going to leave it as it is, and I'm going to show you two other settings that came up now after I connected the XLR2. The first one is our 4-channel audio recording. So we can now control if we want to use the XLR alone to do that. We have the XLR and the camera working in tandem, and then we can also turn it off. Of course, if you are using the XLR adapter, it would be a good idea to actually have this on. And then you also have the XLR mic adapter setting on and off. And if you switch this to off, and in some cases, again, you might want to use a separate microphone and still keep this on, you will then notice that the 4-channel audio recording setting is now grayed out because it's turned off. So we're going to go back, turn it on. We can connect our XLR cable from our microphone, and then we can start recording in the best audio quality possible. So hopefully this helps. If you're interested in acquiring the XLR2 or any of the LUMIX cameras that you see here, please look at the description. We have the links to our online store where you can find the S1 Mark II, R Mark II, and many other LUMIX cameras, all suitable for your needs. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.